Hello, hello. Welcome to Entrepreneur Circle. I'm Parisa Noble, and today, you guys, we have the queen of Amazon with us, Miss Izabella Hamilton. Thank you for coming on the show.
So excited. I've been looking forward to this. Thank you for naming me, for crowning me. I humbly accept, only because it's you. It's such a pleasure to be here with you, Parisa. You're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing. This is going to be the amazing show. You're amazing. No, you're amazing. You're amazing. Let's go.
Let's go. There's so much to talk about. And I first want to just give the audience a glimpse into what you have built. You're not only a powerhouse mom, a beautiful wife, you have a beautiful family. You have managed to build a business that's impacting other businesses in a huge way. And it's all through organic traffic on Amazon, which not a lot of people can say that they know how to do to truly optimize their products on Amazon. You know how to get a book, a supplement, whatever the product is, onto the top of an organic search. Is that right? Did I do it justice?
You are amazing. I want you to come with me all the time and give me that introduction. So it's been such a wonderful journey. And, I just love one. And two, I love making people feel good. And when I look at my background and where I come from, it's always been a passion of mine. Like, how do I become better in my life? But is there a way that I can improve other people's lives around me? Because I notice, yes, it's fun to have your own thing and, have money, but isn't it fun when all your friends have money? Isn't it fun when all of you can do things together? So this has always been, a part of who I am, like this almost humanitarian side of me, but I took that and applied it to business.
I think that's a big piece of the puzzle because I feel like so many people come into this game for the money or the time freedom, which are good reasons, right? Entrepreneurship is one of the only avenues that can really offer that. But when you come into it for the right reasons of supporting people and bringing other people up with you, I feel like the results tend to be different, and that's very evident in your case too. So give me a little bit of the backstory. How did you get into this line of work and what you do?
How far do you want me to go back? Well, I was born in Romania, for those who can pick up a little bit of an accent on me, and I grew up in a time where life wasn't that abundant. I lived in a communist territory. We had a dictator for a president. I grew up thinking that's really all there is to this world. You just, your parents go to work in the morning and you maybe see them at night. Me and my siblings all had a key on our necklace, and that's how we get in and hope there's food, right? And, you grow up and everybody around you is going through the same thing. I can't say like, oh my God, Parisa, that was just me. It was everyone. It was the culture. Like, you grow up into a place where everybody's the same, and then we're all so special. I believe that every single one of us is so special. Humans, we're all like, we are the highest creation in this world, right? And I always had this feeling inside of me like, is that all there is? Is that all there is? And then, as this voice got louder over time, it funneled into, maybe America is the answer to all my questions. So I started, every night I would go to sleep, Parisa, and I had no idea what a mind movie or manifestation, what any of this is. But that was like my cozy spot, right? I would put my blanket up and close my eyes and like picture myself walking in the streets of America, whatever I pictured that looked like, and this house that had like second floors, and I go up to this like bunk bed. I had never seen a bunk bed in my life. So I'm like creating this life that's outside of my confines, where I live and, what we're going through. And doing that every single night, over time, this dream came true. I was able to apply for a program. I'm going to skip over a big portion of that life, but just to give you a little like feel of who I am and what makes me me. With that idea in mind, I just always wanted to be better and to go to the next step. And of course, it was very hard to leave my family. I didn't know anybody in US, and I had no English. I had $100 to my name, and that was really just me starting a whole life over. Since then, life has slowly and progressively taken me to the point where I did decide to go into this magnetic field. I think I could have chosen anything. It was Amazon that drew me for some reason. I can't tell you like, oh my God, this is why, but it just kept coming to me. And I said, okay, if I were to take on this giant, how do I want to show show up? Like, like you said, do I just want to come in and just make money, and try to accumulate as much for myself? I'm like, okay, that's great as an entrepreneur. That's awesome. But is there a way that I could possibly do it where somebody else is happy too? Because I notice in businesses, it's like one party usually ends up winning more than the other. I've been on the other side too, where I'm like, man, like I just made all this money and nothing happened. And then you write it off and you're like, okay, another time. And I'm like, I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be like, oh yeah, we tried her service. No, I'm like, how do I make this so freaking amazing that every single human needs it, wants it, and they're going to be ecstatic? So with that in mind, I came up with this method that's extremely organic, that Amazon brands, they don't have to pay for ads. It's just all through the power of people. So I know I kind of went long with that, so I'm going to let you take over.
No, I love that. I think it gives a clear picture because I'm imagining you as a young woman dreaming about what's to come and coming to America. We kind of started talking about this before we came in here, of the power of vision, really, and having your wants and dreams and desires out there into the world, putting it out there and declaring it as your own before it even happens. It sounds like that was a similar journey from even just leaving Romania and coming here. And then now it trickles into what you're doing in your business.
And that was like just, that was the inkling. It was like the little seed. And of course, now it's 20 years since I came here and I can see it like, oh my God, like all the decisions, because we think we have a whole lifetime, right? And it feels so long, and it is, but yet it's so short. So, these decisions that we make are really impactful, because if you start understanding the energy of money and how money works, I promise you can make money with anything that you desire. Literally, especially in today's world with AI and all the technology that we have, all you got to do is the only problem we have right now is the overwhelm of so many things, right? So you can pick from a catalog of a million things. I can make money with that, with that, with that, with that, with that. And it's like, you just got to make that decision and make sure it aligns with your values and who you are, and you stay true to yourself, right? Because again, there's a million opportunities, but I know I don't want to be a scammer. I know I don't want to be a bad person. Okay. Check. Okay, what are my values? I want people who are fun. Okay, boom. That's a check, right? Now you're attracting people who believe into what you believe. Maybe, I came across businesses that are very religious and it works out for them. I'm like, that's great. You come up with people that are just funny. We know people like that in our industry, right? Then you have people who, their whole niche is, about grieving, and that works for them. So I always say, first, see what your values are. Align yourself with that first, and then be like, okay, who do I want to attract? What do I want my life to look like? And even if you can't get it down to a T, but at least have that image of, okay, I am with these people, we're celebrating my book launch and this, and then the right opportunity will come. You will be able to pick it up from the many, many opportunities. But a lot of people, Parisa, what happens is, as you know, they get very stressed out, and they're like, maybe the parents are like, oh, you need to get a job, you need to do this. And this is where we move away from the path that we're supposed to be, because we do have an internal GPS that wants to move us and put us in the right place. But we have culture, we have family, we have friends, we have judgment. So all of this is kind of eating at who we are, that we get so small that we're like, I don't know who I am. Will you please tell me who I am? Will you please tell me what I should be doing? I really like that person. I should try to be that person. And then you go and you spend 5 years and you're like, I hate that person, but I got to show up as that person. And then it's all, it's just listening to your own self.
It's so true. I think there's a lot to be said about being still and tuning in to that desire of your own GPS. And when we allow the world and the noise and the environment and the people of what we should be take over, that's when we lose touch of those ideas and of, a brilliant $1 billion business that could land in your lap, but you're too busy to see it. I think there's one thing I want to pivot the conversation to. I ask this question to everyone that comes on this show, and I'm curious to hear where it was for you. Once you dialed in on your business model, what you do, your zone of genius, and you start building, what was that point where you really started to feel the momentum and see the growth in your business?
It's a beautiful question. And, when you're in the midst of it, you don't see it. You start with like, okay, I'm here to make money. I got to do all these things. And then you start discovering yourself in the process. You're like, oh my God, this actually works. So a lot of the times you'll see that people are taken by surprise. And for me, because I was so deep into what I was doing, I was like, okay, when I make my first $1,000,000, I'm going to buy myself a Rolex. It's so stupid, I know. But you know what? That time came and passed and I didn't get the Rolex. Because I'm like, it wasn't like people think it's like a moment where you sit down and you're like, guys, like the $1,000,000 came. Like by then you're so probably exhausted, but not only that, but then it becomes part of your life and you integrate as the time comes in. So I don't think for me it was like, oh my God, this is the aha moment. But what it was like, oh my God, this is sustainable for so many other people. You start feeling how other people are feeling. You're like, oh my God, I just made that person $1,000,000. That was more exciting for me than making my own, because I'm like, oh my God, I just changed that person's life. And then they come to you and they're like, I put my kids through college with this money and I was able to move my family from this country to this country. And it's like, I'm getting goosebumps because you start living for that. And we, especially this weekend together, we keep hearing about the gift of giving, right? And how that makes us feel. When you're true to yourself, you start feeling what it feels like to feel other people's joy. Again, for me, it's been kind of a slow process to get to the point, and it wasn't like, okay, this was it. I don't know if that answers it, but
I think there's a piece here that's standing out to me. It's when your mindset shifted to serving. I think that's one big piece of this, is because when we're starting off as entrepreneurs, there's a period there that you're like, oh, I got to make some money. I got to make this work, right? It's a decision to live in that paradigm. And when we can break free of that and really start turning it around and saying, I have this skill set that I can give to others and it will help them. And really holding yourself accountable to that, where you're not just bringing on clients just to have more clients, you're bringing on clients to really help them grow their business. That's what I'm hearing from you. And it's so clear too, because we're at a mastermind right now at Four Rooms Mastermind, and Izabella's name is coming up from multiple people that she's helped in this community. And it's because of that exact reason, right? There's results. It's not just words, it's results.
It's results plus this like energy that we bring. When you interview your guests like receive your yumminess, right? Like I feel it right now. So we have an impact greater than what we even can see in front of our eyes, right? So it's the same with being here. Like your name comes up all the time. Now my name comes up, and what you start noticing is, as a collective, as a group, we lift each other up, and we're like, oh my God, every time we come to Amber Spears' event, like she just makes us all feel good. Like, what is it? What's in the water? But it's, each one of us raising our vibration, because I make you feel good. You make me feel good. Now Brandon feels good. Now Amber feels good. And we're like, oh my God, we all feel so good. Probably the whole hotel is like, what is going on here with these people? But it's just contagious, isn't it?
It is. And I don't know, there is a power in mindset. We were just talking, you recently got back from Necker Island. Tell me about that experience. I would love to hear about that experience, because this, like you said, this is a goal for people for 10 years, right? 20 years. They're like, I want to go to this island. I want to go see what this is about. I feel like the power of tapping into a frequency and declaring what you want helps you manifest faster. And I feel like that was the case with Necker Island based on what we've talked about. So tell me what that was like.
Into the good stuff. Oh my God, it's so true. It's like once you tap into that frequency. So those who know me know that, I have this thing about, becoming a billionaire, a conscious billionaire. And I made that decision. And it wasn't like I woke up one day and like, I'm going to be a billionaire. It's been something it's just exciting to me, because I know human potential is so large. And part of it, Parisa, was like, you know what? I think I could become a billionaire. And if I can become a billionaire, and people know where I come from, like I literally came here with $100, and I can show people that they can step into that. I don't have a PhD. My parents are not, geniuses or anything. I'm just a normal human, right? So it almost became this like race for me, like, okay, I can see how that person is doing it. I can see how that person is doing it. And then I had this thought one day, Paris. I was like, I would love to know what billionaires talk about. I want to know when they sit at the table eating their lunch, what is it that they talk about? So this question has come up in my mind a lot. And I'm like, well, for me to get into those rooms, I thought I had to be a billionaire. So I'm like, I want to be a billionaire now because I want to sit at the rooms. I want to see what happens at these tables. Are they talking about world domination? Are we cloning people? I don't know. I'm like, you have all these ideas in your mind. And I think when I shifted my frequency, like you said, onto being curious. And that's, by the way, one of the things that has helped me throughout my life is I've always been curious about people, which opens up people to me and makes them feel seen. Because I'm like, Paris, I want to know everything. I want to know about your dad and tell me what happened there. And I want to know about you. And I think that just creates this rapport with people. And for the longest time, I didn't know why people liked me. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm just funny. But it's like we connect heart to heart, right? So when you're curious, then things just start unfolding. So my curiosity of what it feels like to be a billionaire, what are they talking about? I literally manifested, just like you said, an invitation to go to Necker Island. And I'm like, wait, Necker Island, the Necker Island? Like, I got the message and I was like, wait a minute, like Richard Branson's island? I'm like, I'm going to be sitting at the table with billionaires, like what I've been thinking about this whole time. And of course, it was a huge resonating yes. And I got there and I'm meeting this people person. Of course, before the trip, I'm like, oh my God, do I have my clothes? Like, do I need to upgrade my wardrobe? And you start your ego's tripping out. And I'm like, oh my God, I have a whole suitcase of shoes. And I'm like, and I get there and it's like, the most amazing people. And they're like, oh my God, who are you? And just very comfortable. It's like being at 4 rooms, swear to God, almost no difference. But what I realized they do is they do it on that magnificent level. Everybody that was there just here's $50K to your organization. Here's $100K to save the flamingos. Here's these were the conversation. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, it's all about connecting and giving. So when you get to that level, it's still you're still supporting, but now right now, we're supporting making people, you're putting people in front of audiences. You show them how great they can be. Imagine, Parisa, when you're going to be a billionaire, you're going to be at that level now where you're lifting even more people, even to a greater level. That's the only difference that I noticed is we're still doing things here, we still kind of try to control things, whereas at that level it's all we're so abundant. Where else can we put our money? Now, disclaimer, I don't know if every billionaire is like this, but this circle that I was in with Richard Branson and all the billionaires there and some wonderful guests and some wonderful speakers, these people were just all heart to heart. And I think that has to do also with my energy, because obviously there's, I don't know, I don't want to quote a number that's not fair, but I'm sure it's over 1,000 billionaires or something. I don't know the exact number. Now, if I were to go into that frequency and attract billionaires, I could have attracted any of the other ones, right? Maybe ones that were not the good kind, but I attracted this because this is who I am. See? And so it's not just I just want to be a billionaire, but what kind of billionaire do you want to be? Do you want to be a conscious billionaire, or do you want to be one that's creating weird stuff? I don't know. So when I was there with them, I asked Richard Branson, I said, Richard, Sir Richard Branson, I'm sure you meet hundreds and hundreds of people that come through your doors. And what do you notice to be that it factor, that common denominator amongst all these billionaires and all these great minds? And he looked at me and he gave me a very nice compliment, which I will carry with me forever. He said, well, if everybody was as kind and nice and always smiling like you, then the world would be a better place. And he continued to say, it comes down to relationships, and it comes down to connections, and it comes down to everybody supporting each other. And I'm like, this whole time, my whole life, I've been searching for this answer only to be pointed back at me you already have it all. And I thought he was going to give me some great, oh my God, you got to have strategy. You got to wake up at 5 a.m. You got to do this. You got to do push-ups. I was ready. I was like, I'm taking notes, baby. Just tell me, where is it? What direction is it? And he's like, just that. And the whole room was like, whoa, because I know it's a question. I asked the hard questions, but my experience was unbelievable. It was simple, yet everything that I needed to hear.
So beautiful. It's the common theme in this conversation. It's supporting each other. I want to end it on this note. Come out of your own head. Come out of your own business. I think that's the key. That's what I'm seeing in you. It radiates from you. You are of a service mindset. Richard Branson said it himself too. We're supporting, right? It's people who support each other and bring each other up. The partnerships, the collaborations, the giving. That seems to be the common theme in reaching that level of success and really feeling that momentum in your business.
Exactly.
Oh, I love this. I love you so much. I'm so grateful that you came on the show. Where can people connect with you and find you?
You can find me on LinkedIn, Izabella, with Z and one L, Izabella Hamilton. You can look me up on socials if you want to see my crazy Instagram karaoke stories from my car. That's also cool. I'm all of it. I'm the LinkedIn version in like a blue, outfit. And then you see me on Instagram like, oh. So I'm both of those, see whichever one matches your vibe. But I'm just open to, helping as many people as I can. And whether, you're in the Amazon or not, it just gives me pleasure. You can feel like I'm just like excited. I want others to experience this. And it wasn't always this easy, but as I am growing into my life and as I am getting older, I'm just like, my God, life is so beautiful. Like we are so grateful to be alive. And, if you're listening and you're watching this, like when you wake up in the morning and you take your first breath, you're like, my God, thank you, God, I am alive. Like literally this should set the tone for the rest of your life, because every day you wake up and you're alive, you won. You won the game. Everything else is a cherry on top. That's all.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, girl.
Amen.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.